Welcome everyone to the Collie Bliss Beauty Podcast, your go-to podcast for all things beauty therapy, whether you're a seasoned professional, a student, just starting your journey, or simply passionate about skincare, wellness, and self-care. You're in the right place today because we'll be discussing so many things. So grab your jade roller, settle in, and let's elevate your beauty career one episode at a time. I'm Nicole Spalding. I'm a lecturer of beauty therapy and a beauty therapist. And I have a very, very special guest today by the name of Rebecca Ma. Rebecca Ma is a head therapist. Rebecca Ma has a Bachelor of Science with honours in beauty and spa management. Rebecca has represented internationally recognized brands like Elemis and Dermalogica and has run her own mobile beauty business. Please give a round of applause for Rebecca.
Hi, Nicole.
Hiya. How are you today, Rebecca?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So as you
I
know,
set the sun shining.
it is very sunny, yeah. So today we discuss the importance of attending beauty school. That is the topic of discussion and the various benefits beauty school offers. As you know already, I went to beauty school. I think you did as well, right?
I did many years ago now, but yeah.
And do you want to share what beauty school you went to and why you chose that specific school?
Absolutely. So I went to South Thames. This was back in 2010, so a little while ago now. And I picked the college specifically for their beauty salon environment. It was professional, and they had so much opportunities there for both beauty and hairdressing. So that's why I picked it.
So there are many opportunities between the two fields, which is hairdressing and beauty. Was there one that
Mhm.
you were specifically more drawn to, or were you just kind of experimenting to see which one would be a good fit?
A bit of both. I visited another college, and I just preferred the aesthetics of South Thames. The salon was lovely.
Yeah, a lot of beauty schools do have amazing salons. We will be going into
Hmm.
very shortly in our discussion. But first of all, I want to also go over what is beauty school because many people they may have heard of it. There's so many terms for
Hmm.
it, like in the US, they call it cosmetology school. But we
Hmm.
really want to talk about the UK where we're based. So beauty school is a educational establishment where there are many courses that are around beauty therapy. So you could specialize in massage therapy, for example. It could be makeup. It could be what else comes to the top of your head? What we know.
Um, Specialist courses like aromatherapy, hot stones, um, semi-permanent makeup as well sometimes was an option at some of the schools.
Yeah, exactly that. And the great thing about going to beauty school is you will get your certification, which is very important in the UK because once you are qualified and you get that certificate, it then gives you many opportunities to one, start your own mobile business if that's what you want to do, like what you did. Also, you can actually go ahead and work for an employer with those certificates that you've received. And besides that, it gives you accolades which can take you overseas. And this is why this topic has arisen in my mind that I want to share with the viewers today why beauty school matters, because it's the real core foundation of where your skill set begins and then where you will take off from there. Do you agree, Rebecca?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely it gives you a core foundation of the industry.
And just to kind of go back in time, what year did you enroll in beauty school? Because I guess over the years, the process has changed in terms of enrollment, how you hear about
Hmm.
it. So, how did you hear about South Thames, number one? And then, and what year did you enroll?
Absolutely. So I heard about South Thames. I think it was via secondary school, actually. You know, when you're looking for colleges and you kind of go through brochures, I think that's where I came across it. And I enrolled in 2010, so 15 years ago now.
Incredible. That year's so close to when I enrolled because I think I enrolled around 20, so 2025 now, 15 years. I'd say around 2012 is when I enrolled. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
It
But I guess
goes so fast, doesn't it?
it does. It really does. But I think going back to them times, my journey similar to you, where I kind of found out about it through uh I think there was one person I knew doing beauty, one person, but besides that one person, it was
Hmm.
actually my mum who suggested I do it because I loved makeup and I'd take care of my skin. And she thought, why don't you go and study that? And I did eventually. How about you? Were you inspired by anyone to actually go to beauty school, or did anyone kind of prompt you to it?
I wasn't inspired by anyone per se. I think I've just always had a passion about making people feel good, feel better, and just had a passion for like massage, I think, firstly, massage facials and that kind of thing.
One of the hardest units, massage therapy. A lot of people find that quite difficult to grasp. So
It is lots
yeah,
of A&P.
100%.
Hmm.
Yeah. And as you viewers may not know, A&P stands for anatomy and physiology. It's just an abbreviated term for that. Besides that, though, we've covered a lot so far already. I want to go into, so you've already mentioned what unit you did enjoy and what you grasped, which was body massage. But besides that, though, what did you have difficulty
Hmm.
grasping in beauty school, and how did you kind of overcome that?
Um, That's a good question. If I'm honest, I don't think I found it hard to grasp any of the units. I thoroughly enjoyed most. I don't think I struggled. The manicure and pedicure unit, though, I wasn't a fan of. I've never been a fan of nails. So yeah, the mani pedi section is probably wasn't my best unit.
A lot of students actually say that, like, a lot of people, number one, they have a fear of feet, which is so common now.
Hmm.
But then once you master taking care of someone's feet, you can
Yeah,
actually gain confidence in any other skill set in beauty. So I
absolutely.
think it's good to kind of master that one as well.
Hmm.
Also,
Also, waxing. Waxing was the first unit. So, level two, first unit, first term, you're new, you're just kind of making friends, and they literally throw you straight into waxing. And that obviously varied from underarms, bikini. So yeah, it was quite personal.
yeah, you really are going into intimate areas of the body, but doesn't that build
Hmm.
confidence though? And that's one of the benefits I want to bring up
Absolutely.
about beauty school, because why it matters is because it's a confidence booster. I remember when I joined, I wasn't the strongest, I'd say, in terms of self-esteem. I was a bit unsure and rocky of what my path would be in life. And
Hmm.
I remember grasping, I think it was eyebrows. We had to do tinting and I loved it. And I actually felt really confident in myself, like, wow, if I can
Wow.
do this, I can do anything else. Did you sense a
Right.
confident boost in any units specifically, apart from body massage?
Probably facials. Facials, I think, were my strong points. Skincare as well. I was really into the skincare, learning about the products. We also had Dermalogica as one of our in-house industry brands. So they would come in and they would do talks with us, and I really grasped their mini workshops quite quickly.
Wonderful. And to have a high-end brand like that in your salon really sets you up for success because you're already learning what's current in the industry, right?
Mhm.
In terms of ingredients.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, another topic I want to cover about, or another area I want to cover on this podcast is friendship groups, because you do meet a vast amount of people in beauty school, different age groups. You know, in the UK,
Hmm.
normally, if you're going down the normal path, you would do beauty school at 16 while it's still free for students. And then you would go on to it up until 18, where it's still free education. But I think I think you during that period you can meet even older students, isn't it?
Hmm.
Do you remember any of
Yeah,
the students in your class? More
absolutely.
mature students?
Some students that were at the time 20 years my senior, but you know, you learn and you grow from everyone. So it was a really good opportunity.
And a lot of the time they will bring so much experience in terms of their employment skills, what they've
Hmm.
experienced, and also maybe if they've been working abroad in another country, a lot of them in their home country, they're bringing those beauty skills over. So you can learn a lot from your peers. And that's why I think beauty is
Absolutely.
very beneficial for those that are interested in it, because you will learn from others.
Definitely.
So we're moving on to the next question, Rebecca. How was your beauty lecturer and how did you find the process of enrolling in the beauty school?
So the process of enrolling was pretty standard. It was your usual, you know, filling out the form. We then also had to purchase a beauty kit, which at the time was quite spenny. It was definitely an investment. Um, Loved my lecturers. There was something to learn from each and every one of them. It was nice because a lot of them actually worked in the industry as well. So, you know, they would be able to share their experience and qualifications, and they would always help, which I think is really important because the theory behind beauty therapy is a lot. It can be quite overwhelming. However, it's always all the underpinning knowledge that you do learn is needed.
It really is needed. And it may not benefit you then and there, but it will be useful at some point in your
Hmm.
journey, isn't it? There's even
Absolutely.
there's even moments now that where I think, wow, actually this I needed this knowledge back then, so I can use it now.
Absolutely. Even health and safety, cost regulations. When you're learning, you think, why on earth do I need to? But it's so important. It's necessary in the industry.
Yeah. And also with the beauty school, it does set you up to have a good friendship group. As we were saying, you can be friends professionally with your lecturers. Obviously, they're sharing their
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. They might even demonstrate a treatment on you. So you need to have that trust with them. You need to have that professional relationship with them, and you can learn a lot from others.
Absolutely.
Thank you for answering that one. I want to go on to something a little bit more personal. No, well, not really personal, but everything, as we know, isn't always perfect in beauty school. There are some
Mm-hmm.
people who don't pass their practical exams, or they might fail at several attempts
Mm-hmm.
in their theoretical exams. What would you say is something you would change in that process in beauty school? Maybe how something's delivered, for example. I can think of one. Sometimes feedback, how it's given to the student.
Mm-hmm.
It can be maybe come across maybe harshly. It may not be constructive, and
Mm-hmm.
could make someone feel a little bit sad, I guess. Especially if you're at a
Absolutely.
younger age. So what's one
Yeah.
thing you would change at beauty school? The one you attended though, yeah? Keep it to the one you attended.
Okay. Um, that's a very good question. I'm not too sure how the courses are run now, but for me, I was a very visual learner. So, for example, facials, when it was taught, you know, they would teach you movement. So they would say, for example, three effleurages to the face. It can be quite overwhelming to remember everything. I think having videos that you can kind of watch at your own leisure, um, that's probably what I would change, because it did take me quite a little while to grasp the structure of a facial, remember all the massage movements, remember, how to cleanse. I think a video would have definitely benefited me 15 years ago.
100% I agree. Back then, there was no video content. We
No.
had to remember everything in this brain here
Hmm.
on a
Hmm.
sheet where we'd get our protocol steps for each treatment.
Hmm.
We have to practice at home and get on with
Yeah,
it anyway. So, yeah,
exactly.
definitely for the visual learners now, videos will really help them and
Hmm.
support those who are audio learners as well, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think sometimes reading from a book can be quite overwhelming, especially like massage movements. It can be quite hard to kind of visualize a massage movement based on you reading it. So yeah, definitely videos, audios, all of that would definitely benefit going forward.
So that's a big benefit for those students enrolling now in 2025. They are going
Hmm.
to have access to a lot of virtual learning in a way. They might even have
Hmm.
their classes set up like we're doing right now, screen to screen.
Hmm.
They might even have their revision notes and everything virtual. They can just take it on their phone with them. They don't have to carry a
Absolutely.
physical book.
Yeah, exactly
Right.
that.
But in a way, AI is helping us. Like, I do believe
It
that
is indeed.
there's a
It is
positive around
indeed.
that. Yeah,
Rolling with the trends.
exactly. So one other thing I want to cover is the communication skills, because I can already sense yourself just how your your tone and how you speak and how you present yourself is so sophisticated. And I feel like if you do go to beauty school, you do learn about communicative skills. You also learn how posture is important. What do you remember what unit that came
Hmm.
under? There was a specific unit I remember.
Um, I think it was implemented in all the units. I mean, for me, we had like salon service evenings. So that's where you would literally be in like a real life salon. Clients would come in, they would pay like a discounted rate for mani pedi, facial treatment. That really helped my communication, I think, because it was literally like being in an actual salon.
I do remember that. And it's funny, I was
Hmm.
invited some of my friends and I had to pretend to like be very professional with them and treat them like a stranger, which I found kind of
Yeah,
odd at times, but
yeah.
it still set me up for communicating on a more formal level. So I'm
Hmm.
grateful for that experience.
Absolutely. The late nights I wasn't a fan of, because salon services normally finished at about 9. But looking back, it was needed, because that's kind of how it is in industry. Sometimes you will have to stay late, and it will be a late evening session that you would have to work.
That's true. And also, when it comes to communication skills, we do a lot of writing, don't we? We did. I don't know if you had
Hmm.
it in your school, but we had like a consultation form, and it was a paper form, and you had to
Hmm.
write every time
Hmm.
the client's details. You then had to tick the contraindications. You had to make sure you fill out the aftercare
Hmm.
advice. Do you remember that?
Hmm.
So that really helps you with your
Absolutely.
so that really helps you with your written skills, right?
It does. Yeah,
Getting
it
to know what
does.
terms to use on like each box and making sure
Hmm.
official and legal document, making sure that it's documented correctly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, consultations were a big part. I think in college it's like, oh, why do we have to do this? But it's so important from a legal perspective. So yeah, definitely a good learning curve there.
And that will set a student up for success in terms of their writing skills, especially if they're going to open up their own salon or they want to start their own venture.
Hmm.
They will know how to communicate with
Hmm.
their clients, which in this day and age is important because no one wants to be treated unprofessionally, right?
No, definitely not.
Another thing I want to cover with you is lockdown, because we did go into lockdown around 2019, about for about
Hmm.
a year and a half, something like that. I remember the exact date,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously there was a lot of beauty professionals practicing still at home. They
Mm-hmm.
may not admit it, but that was going on, despite
Mm-hmm.
them putting on certain restrictions. So when I really think about it, the beauty industry in a way is lockdown proof because you can still do your treatments. I mean, even if you weren't allowed to do commercial treatments on clients, you could still practice your treatments at home, couldn't
Mm-hmm.
you? And keep your
Mm-hmm.
skill set up to date, right? So once you've
Yeah, definitely. I do believe
yeah, go
I do
ahead.
believe everybody's lockdown experience in industry was different. For me, I stopped working. It was very kind of on and off, dependent on the restrictions that did come into play. I think at one point you had to have a mask, and then at one point you couldn't work at all. So it was very up and down.
I remember that. Yeah, there were phases even for me where I was on furlough and then things kind of
Hmm.
changed and they thought
Hmm.
they'd open again, but they didn't open on the scheduled date. So a lot of things got postponed. But throughout that
Yeah.
time though, it was just nice to know that I could still practice on myself or, practice on family who I live with.
Hmm.
That is the benefit of having your certificate as
Hmm.
well, that you could still continue those skills at home in your own comfortable setting and stay up to
Hmm.
date, right? Because that's really important.
Absolutely.
They do give us a requirement of a certain continued professional development hours every year that we should do.
Hmm.
It's our whatever we're doing in life, we should keep that up because it shows our commitment to the industry and
Definitely.
the knowledge.
Definitely. Things are always changing as well in industry. So it's always good to keep up with the knowledge and industry trends.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to cover with you, Rebecca, while you're here is going back to that topic of how it enhances your own image, because I think that is really important for young people, especially to know, young females who are thinking of doing beauty school. If you haven't got parents who,
Sorry, Nicole, could you repeat the question? I think the
oh,
signal
yeah,
dropped there.
sure. So I want to go back to the area we were talking about earlier about around personal image because if you
Hmm.
are a young female and during that adolescence period you are still learning about yourself and your body, I do believe beauty
Hmm.
therapy school can actually assist you in learning more about yourself, your human anatomy, your
Hmm.
physiology as a woman as well, a young female. Would you agree with that? That
Hmm.
would be a major benefit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And I think as well with that, it raises a young female's confidence in knowing how to take care of her skin because the skin, as we know, is the largest organ.
Hmm.
A lot of people are oblivious to how to even cleanse their skin. So for you to learn these basic
Hmm.
skills, it could be carried forward into your self-care life.
Absolutely. Especially like the makeup as well.
Big
Um,
one, makeup.
Looking at
Yeah.
my makeup application probably prior to college, we've got a different approach now.
Would you say you're better at using the brushes, or what would you say you're good at? Like, are you good at like application? Are you good at colors on the eyes? Like,
Um, I normally keep it quite basic, but I think just finding the right product for my skin, I'm a bit more confident with that now. And yeah, application. I mean, I could potentially apply on somebody else as well, but yeah, I'm more of an application on myself type of girly.
it's the best feeling when you can do your makeup yourself and you just feel presentable and you feel really good in who you are,
Hmm.
especially when you're going out into the.
Definitely,
So we've covered
definitely.
so
We had
much.
a really good makeup kit as well in our kit.
Oh, in the beauty school. That you, do
Yeah, our kit came with a really nice makeup kit.
you remember the brand? Was it Sleek or because I know a couple of colleges they had Sleek.
I don't recall, but I don't recall the brand, but there was a variety of like eyeshadows, color correctors, and at the time it was like Christmas had come.
Everyone's kind of panicking over which bag to get.
Exactly.
Now we're going to be diving into I'd say, like the process of going to beauty school, because I know we shared a little bit of our process, but
Mhm.
what is the official process? Do you remember? Can you kind of share on that? What is the official process? Shall I
I
begin?
think the official process was just enrollment, and then you get selected. So I think there was a variety of different sets, and then you get put into a set. I don't recall doing any like trade testing or anything. I do remember being tested on my maths and English. But yeah, it was a pretty easy process. You know, as long as you were passionate and kind of why you wanted to do beauty therapy and, you know, how you see your career path spanning, you know, you were accepted and they would give you that chance.
That's really good. And when you were at your chosen college, did you remember when you did enroll, did you remember sometime during the course opportunities given for you to do work experience in salons while studying, or was that not an option where you were?
Absolutely. Dermalogica was one of the brands that really came in. Steiner as well. There was an opportunity to go on Steiner from college, which is the cruise ship.
Oh,
So
yeah,
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 there
yeah,
was a lot
yeah.
of opportunities, definitely, and they kind of they kind of prepped you and molded you into what makes a good therapist or would make a good therapist for this brand, which was really important. So they'll kind of prep you for an interview, which was really appreciated.
That's brilliant because I don't think many colleges have those tight connections with like
Hmm.
international brands. So you chose really well. Imagine
Yeah, I
that.
was very happy there.
I'm really pleased to hear that. And this is the thing, viewers, like wherever you're listening from, it doesn't matter what stage you're at in life. If you do want to make a change to your path, and you are interested in self-care, health and wellness, beauty is a great place to start because you can start a level one course even,
Hmm.
see if it's right for you. And it's a nice entry level for you to get used to maybe just a bit of nail art or what else, maybe some facial skincare.
Hmm.
So it's a good way for you to kind of get ready for what's to come and really decide if it's for you or not, because it isn't obviously for everyone. There's so many professions out there.
Absolutely.
I just want to dive a little bit deeper as well into the process because that's what we're discussing. So,
Hmm.
as we all know, yes, you can just go to a college and enroll. They sometimes have event days where you can actually even go around the college or around the beauty school to actually view it and get a real feel for it, speak to some of the lecturers, speak to maybe some of the past or present students as well. I remember going to one in particular, London College of Beauty Therapy, located at Oxford Circus,
Hmm.
one there just at the back. And they had 4 floors in there. Like it was just a totally different layout than what I was used to. But they had the salon downstairs where they did hairdressing, then they had upstairs where they did beauty therapy. And I felt like it was very welcoming and all the people were friendly. So when you do go to these event days, make the most of it. Don't be afraid to ask questions, confirm the price of with them to know if you are a student that needs to pay for the course, how much it will cost you. If you are eligible for free education still under the age of 19 or 18, double check that as well to confirm and make sure that it meets your requirements, right? Because last thing you want is
Definitely.
to be enrolled on a course and then waste your time having to leave and attend somewhere else. And it can be quite tricky, Rebecca, isn't it? Like if you are midway through a course and then you're trying to go on to a next establish
Yeah,
another college or school, it's quite tricky to join midway a course. So yeah, what would you recommend to the viewers? Would you recommend the same thing to them?
absolutely. Ask so many questions. No question is a wrong question when it comes to beauty therapy. They're only there to help and give you more information. Do your own research as well about the college that you're attending. You know, how long have they had the beauty section going for? How long have they had the course? How many, students, what have students gone on to do after graduating from college?
Yeah, that's a good one actually. See where students are at now in life.
Hmm.
If some of their success stories match what you where you want to be in life. But also
Hmm.
a key thing which I forgot, how could I forget this, is to always check the awarding body because that
Yeah.
awarding body will determine where you can go and work. For example, if you choose to do a beauty course through VTCT,
Hmm.
which is an awarding body, they're recognized all over the world. It will give you opportunities to travel and work abroad. Same way if you chose City and Guilds, it gives you the same opportunities. There's a new one out. Well, I don't know how long they've been out for. Focus Awards. Have you heard of them?
Oh, I've not heard of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're internationally recognized, but it's always worth, like you mentioned already, doing your research, checking what certificate you will get. Also checking, like you said, how long the beauty department's been there for in the college or school you're attending or thinking of attending. And also checking to see what the guess what their I'd say resources are like, because you want good resources. You want also a good working environment and study environment. You may want
Hmm.
access to a library, these extra amenities. Even some colleges, they may have a gym you can access. So always just double check and see what's a good fit for you and see what's readily available for you as well.
Hmm.
Would you agree, Rebecca?
Yeah, definitely. Research is so important.
Checking
Course
over.
content.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
even course content, seeing the breakdown of units as well, right? Seeing
Hmm.
the flow of that, because
Definitely.
they will tell you these things as well if you ask. You just got to
Definitely.
open your mouth, viewers. So make sure you check with your whatever college you're thinking of going to, double check with them, speak to their admin team, speak to the lecturers themselves, and make a list of all the questions, even if you're someone who forgets. Just make a note on your phone. I use my notes on Apple a lot.
Hmm.
Make a list and then just read it off.
Definitely. Notes app is my best friend.
Now, so Rebecca, I'm so grateful that you've shared knowledge with, Colibus Beauty followers today.
Hmm.
The topic is was great. It was all about why beauty school matters, and just to have a little summary of the key benefits. It's really building a strong skill set, laying that
Hmm.
strong foundation for setting yourself up for a career path that could bring you a lot of good fortune in life and can benefit others because you'll be almost like healing and providing professional services for other people that will enhance their grooming standards and enhance their mental health even. Another benefit is making friendships. I know we didn't dive too deep into that today, but obviously you will have the chance to engage with others from all age groups, from all ethnicities.
Hmm.
As we know, London is a very much metropolitan city and you can meet anyone, anywhere. And it's a nice way for you to gauge as well what you want to specialize in after going to
Hmm.
the beauty school stage, where you learn different units. But then you can then start to think, okay, I really like eyebrows. Let's see what special courses are there for eyebrows, and then you can go further in that field. Also, we've touched on building your communication skills, your personal image skills. As you can see, the way me and Rebecca present ourselves, it can be it can be kind of driven from all aspects in life, but beauty also, I think, encourages people to really show up their best way and communicate the best way they can to build professional relationships with their clients. And finally, that certificate, that is one of the key benefits of you going there. You will get that certificate
Yeah.
will last with you your whole life. Obviously, once you've completed a course, you never have to redo it again. You just have to continue your professional development, whether that's reading textbooks, attending exhibitions, if you want to complete little short courses here and there, maybe you get some mentoring, that counts towards your continued professional development, but you're never expected to redo a year course, for example. That certificate will stay with you forever. And that is gold, really, especially if you want to take off and start a great career.
Agreed.
Do you want to share anything else with the viewers before we exit?
Um, it's fun. It's a fun experience, viewers. You learn so much, and it really does set you up for greatness. I think it's so important as well if you do want to pursue a career in beauty that you do go through the professional course route. You obviously not only learn the practical skills, you learn a lot of theory, which, you know, really benefits both yourself and the clients that you see even 10, 15 years later.
So true. And a lot of students do keep in touch with their clients. They'll
Yeah,
they'll find them
definitely.
on they'll find you on social media, and possibly if you start your own online business.
Definitely.
Well, I want to thank you today, Rebecca Ma, for your contribution to this great topic, why beauty school matters. Before we go, can you just share any handles if you have like social media in case someone wants to reach out to you, they've got questions?
Absolutely. So I'm on TikTok, Rebecca Marie London. Feel free to follow. I do spa reviews at the moment, so stay tuned.
Wonderful. Well, it's been lovely having you on and enjoy your day.
It's been a pleasure, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.